talking about trust, how important trust is in a relationship. People say, I trust you. Do you think trust is the reason why relationship lasts longer or thrive? Or, people build a very solid relationship? Is it because of the trust they have for each other? Or is it because of, something else?
It has to be the trust, because without trust, there can't be any love. There can't be respect. Men are looking for respect, and if you don't show me that I can trust you, I can't respect you, because you come across as a joke at this point, because you say one thing and you don't do it, but you want my respect how? So if there's no trust in a relationship, even in a friendship, you lose a sense of respect, you lose a sense of reliability, you lose love, because it's like you keep breaking this thing that is. Think of trust as an invisible bed.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Trust is like an invisible bed, and in this bed, I know that when I lay down on this bed, it's going to be comfortable. It's going to feel good. I'm going to be able to relax. But if this bed has thorns because you have broken your trust or your promises many times, and then I lay on this mattress, I'm going to be sore. I'm going to be wounded. I'm going to bleed. That's what trust is like. You have to make it comfortable, and it's both ways. It's not a one-way street. It's two ways, actually.
Okay.
So without trust in any relationship, friendship, or marriage, there will be no relationship, marriage, or friendship, because it will be broken. It will be uncomfortable. You will bleed there. You will hurt there, and no one wants that. So trust is precedence over literally love, because without trust, you can't have love. So trust comes first.
But talking about trust, trust is the reason why we have so many cases of divorce
Facts.
and separation.
Facts.
And do you think human beings are capable of being trusted?
1.111 million%. Of course, it's all about how. For example, me, I take my word very seriously.
Okay.
I honor my word because it represents how respectful I am towards you. If I say I'm going to do something and I can't do it, I will give you a call ahead of time and say, hey, this is going on. I'm not able to meet up what I said. Or I'll tell you, hey, I'm going to do it, but maybe not today, maybe this in a couple of days. For this reason. I owe you that much because I want you to know that you can rely on me. Like, even if you look in the dictionary, I think the definition of trust is going to say something like, it is the firm belief in reliability, in ability, and in truth. So what does that mean? If I can't rely on you, then it's like it's better you're not even around, because like I said, in that space, anything you tell me, if I have to doubt it, now I'm uncomfortable, I'm anxious, I'm not relaxed, I'm not, he got it, because I know Chidi says this, Chidi's gonna do what he says. I'm now worried, is he gonna show up? Is he gonna do this? Is it gonna come through? I'm anxious, I'm uncomfortable, I'm literally preparing myself to be hurt. And that is a toxic place to be in, so no one wants that. So yes, trust is very important. And I think that, like I said, before you can become lovers or anything, even in a friendship, I have to trust you, because trust, it breeds safety. You know how sometimes in relationships, you're very scared to tell your partner about your past or something you've been through because you don't trust them yet. But you can't say this person loves me without knowing who I really am and what I've been through and what I'm carrying on my back.
Okay.
Because then you're loving a version of me that's not whole. But if I trust you, I can be vulnerable with you. Sometimes I know, even in the counseling sessions I have with couples, the men are hesitant to trust the women because there's this narrative that goes around saying that when you're vulnerable with a woman, she can use it against you.
Okay.
That's why men don't trust easily to be vulnerable and transparent, because they feel like you're going to see me as weak or you're going to judge me for it. So they keep a lot of secrets.
So do you think that kind of narrative by men, do you think is valid?
It's valid because some women have actually done that, but it's not healthy. If you're in a relationship and you can't trust the partner you're with, get out of that relationship. What are you doing over there? You can't ever feel safe. So at this point, you don't feel free, because trust builds freedom. For example, let's say you have a partner and you trust them 100%, you know that they will never do anything to hurt you. They can go out and hang out with friends all night, heck, 2-3 days. You're not worried. You're not thinking, is she with some with the guy? Or they're doing something. You know, you're just like, hey, I trust my girl. Like she's gonna have a good time. She's gonna respect herself because I've known her to be that respectful.
Then what about if she messes up?
Now, if she messes up, then trust is broken. Now, you have to understand how that came about, because it takes 10 years to build trust, but one day to mess it up.
So because we are not perfect, my problem is we human beings, right? We are not perfect. So maybe someone who has been faithful or trustful for a few years or for some time might, kind of slip, along the line.
Happens.
And when he sleeps or when she sleeps, then the trust is what?
Trust is broken.
And when trust is broken, what happens?
Now you have to take actions to repair it. So if you break my trust, you need to work with so much patience and work according to my steps. It's not about, okay, it's been 2 years, get over it already. I'm sorry, excuse you? You broke my trust. So if I take 10 years to heal, if it takes me 10 years to trust you again, sit down, be quiet, and just show me that I can trust you. Yeah. Don't rush me, because you broke the trust. And it hurt me as much as it hurt me. You can't quantify that by time.
Yeah.
Because it depends on what you did. Because remember that when I trust you, I put you in a space in my mind that you will never betray me. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then when you do, now you look like a stranger in my eyes. Like I never really knew you. I don't really know you.
Okay.
So I have to get to know you all over again. And that takes time. Now I want to know, when you did what you did, was it in consideration of me or not? And why didn't you consider me? Was I not valuable to you to consider? Or were you just so distracted? There's so much that's going to play in my mind.
Yeah.
And that's me trying to make sense of what has happened. So at this point, I'm looking at you and like, you're not who I thought you were.
But don't you think it's more safer for you to trust people for who they are?
Okay, but who are you though? Because remember, when you're trying to date somebody, you always put your best foot forward. That's the version I'm going to know, who your representative, right?
Yeah.
So that's who you're going to show up as. Now, when you get comfortable and you're now in your real self, I don't know that person until you show me who that person is. Because I'm still going to believe that you are your representative. That's who I know you to be.
Yeah.
Until you show me the disrespect and you show me the disloyalty or the unfaithfulness, and I know that you're not a good person. But in the first 3 months, you're wonderful, because you're showing me your wonderful side.
Do you go into a relationship with expectation?
At the very bare minimum, everyone should go into a relationship feeling like I can trust the person I'm seeing because they're telling me that I can. Personally, this is what I do. If I meet you, you automatically get 50% of my trust. It's up to you and your behavior that's going to take it to 100 or 0. That's how I operate. Because at this point, I'm not expecting, I'm observing, I'm watching, I'm seeing who you are. Because if I'm expecting you to be 100% trustworthy, I will get disappointed at some point.
That you know that trust and expectation, they are the same thing.
Not necessarily. Trusting is saying, I believe in the fact that you are this or that. Remember, it's like the firm believe in something. So I'm choosing to believe that you are this until you show me different. Then now I know you're not that. But I can't go into a friendship, a relationship, not trusting you. Because why am I here in the first place? Because others have hurt me, right? So before you go into any relationship, you have got to be healed from your past trauma of, distrust. Because if not, I look at you and everything you do, I question. Where's love gonna come from? Where's respect gonna come from? I'm always gonna have a negative connotation about you, even though you've done nothing to me. So it's not fair.
But you're a Christian, right?
Facts.
Okay. Is there any way in the scripture that talks about trusting men?
Trust in man?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that scripture is in comparison to man and God. It's not in man versus man. The Bible says don't put your trust in man because man is treacherous or man could be volatile.
That's my point.
But in comparison to God, who's perfect.
Yeah.
So compared to God, who the heck is man?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, why not trust God and don't trust man?
Well, are you going to have a relationship with God that is personal, physical? No, you're not.
No, but God said don't trust man.
Yeah, in comparison to Him, not to each other. Because you have to trust who you're with.
Yeah.
We are meant to connect with another counterpart. So God has nothing to do with that specific relationship in the physical aspect.
Okay.
Because God is the spirit, He's not physical.
Yeah.
So you can't use that scripture to attach to that, because that trust is God and man. But the trust we're talking about is man and man.
Yeah.
So it's a different level of trust. Like, if let's say I have a husband who says, I don't want you to serve God, you're out of here. Because I trust God, He gives me life.
Okay.
You don't give me life. So my trust, my loyalty is in God, not this man.
Okay.
So I will dismiss this man. I will cut you off. You have to go to the left.
Because my concern is God says, don't trust man or trust no man. Who you're trusting me.
Because it's comparison to Him.
Okay.
But God is not man. God is almighty. He is our creator, right?
Yeah, and God knows exactly. He knows that. He knows how vulnerable we are. He knows how.
100%.
Yeah, He knows how imperfect we are, right? And God knows that we are fallible. We can mess up anytime, right? And that's why God says, don't put your trust in man, put your trust in me, right?
But because of what He can do for you versus what man can do for you.
Okay, I get it.
That's what that's about.
I get
That's
it.
what that scripture is
I get
actually
it. Now,
expressing.
because this is my worry. In marriages, people get into marriages because they trust, because they love one another, right? To a reasonable extent. Now, people get divorced because the trust is broken.
Facts.
And the reason people get divorced is because they are dealing with human beings who are imperfect.
Sure.
Now, if you're dealing with human beings who are imperfect and who can fail at any time and who can fall at any time, who can betray you at any time, sometimes, unwillingly and willingly, unknowingly and knowingly, right? So don't you think it's gonna be more appropriate if we approach relationship and marriage trusting people to be who they are and trying to build ourselves more better than we try to hinge our expectations from other people, from our partner?
Okay, think of it like this, right? There's an order of things. If you understand the order, there is God, there is man, there is woman, and there is children. Yeah. Right? If a man literally, honestly, sincerely, genuinely follows God, he will be a lot more disciplined to not betray the trust that has been put in him. So if the woman also now follows a man who follows God, she's also held to account and responsibility of being trusted by her husband and her children, to where she cannot betray that trust. Why? Because the instructions are very simple. We have a manual, which is the good book. Yeah. Right? Yeah. The manual is there to help us cultivate behavior that will keep us from betraying trust.
But we fall short all the time.
No. Falling short is not an excuse to imperfection, because imperfection is, let's say, it's like the color of your skin. You can't change it. It is what it is. Yeah. You're born with it. It's part of your existence, your DNA, all of that good stuff, right? Yeah. And then there comes this, hey, if you behave like this or like this, you will be trusted. Why not follow the instructions? But I know people are weaker than others. So now, that's why the Bible gives that platform of the only condition that is acceptable to divorce somebody is when this trust is the sacred trust, not just any kind of trust. Yeah. Sacred trust is broken. Is broken. Even God is like, yeah, leave that fool or that person. Because at this point, you should have known better, because he knows that we are capable of not breaking that trust. We are capable of not doing it. But when you do it, it's because something was lacking. Either discipline or your conscience was not well nurtured. Because if you have a nurtured conscience and you know that God is watching you, you're not going to do certain things. You can't. Because God's eyes on you, you're not about to get naked with anybody else but your wife or your husband. It feels uncomfortable. Because even when I remember when I was 16, That was the last time I stole, by the way.
Yeah.
I was with a wrong group of friends. You know, they went to the store and shoplifted. I'm 16, I don't have money, I want makeup. So I stole. And the whole time I was feeling bad, that guy had seen me steal. I felt terrible. And I didn't even use the makeup because I lost it. I don't even know how I lost it. So that was the last time I stole because of that feeling of guilt. Like God saw me do this and he's not happy with me.
Yeah.
That's because my conscience is nurtured. And I know God is real. Like he can see everything. So when you don't have that discipline, then you can go ahead and cheat and do all kinds of foolishness.
Yeah.
And in this point, that is a choice because you could have been disciplined if you wanted to. That's also a choice.
But you should understand that no matter how disciplined you think you are, sometimes you will sleep.
Because you allowed yourself.
No, because you are human.
No, Chidi, trust me. Before you do anything physically, you have done it in your mind several times.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So when you did it in your mind the first time, you should have been like, I shouldn't be doing this.
But you can do it all the time because what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying, you know what I'm talking about. We are not perfect.
Clearly.
So sometimes we mess up.
True.
Right? So if you are dealing with somebody who is not perfect, somebody who can, betray your trust at any time, why do you still go ahead to try to trust somebody?
See, now
or base your relationship on trust?
That's why it's very important that when you start dating somebody, you should pay attention to who they are before you get to the relationship and the marriage. Like I said, trust starts even in friendship. It's not mandatory that you only trust who you date.
Okay.
Even in friendship, trust is very important. Because if you lie to me all the time as a friend, I can't trust you. So why are we going to be friends? Because at this point, I'm like, Now, there's so many reasons why people lie. People lie because of shame.
Okay.
People lie because of trauma.
Okay.
People lie because they believe in the fantasy feels better to them than reality. So maybe, to give grace, understand, why did you lie to me? What made you feel the need to have to tell me this fib or whatever it is, right? And when you understand where it's coming from, you can give grace, you can show mercy,
Yeah.
you can forgive. But it's a matter of, why did you do it? Because if I have a husband who cheats, I'm not just going to get very angry and just like, you cheated on me. I want to know why. I need you to sit down with me, tell me why you did it.
Yeah.
What made you feel like you could do it, and how did you feel after you did it? At this point, I'm hurt, I feel betrayed, but I want to understand where you are mentally that would lead you to do something so hurtful to someone that you say that you love. Now, if you say, you know what, I was weak because I just feel like if they tell me you make me feel inadequate, you make me feel small, you make me feel like I'm not valid, and this girl made me feel, she put me on a pedestal, then I know, okay, to some extent, I contributed to that. Based on the fact that what he's saying is actually true, I have to take some accountability to that. So in this place, I know that I kind of costed it a little bit. So maybe I can show grace, I can forgive, I can be merciful. Because even though he did something wrong to me, I had a hand in it because of how I treated him, how I talked to him.
Don't you think that when you begin to trust, you are just like, like an empty glass looking for someone to fill you up?
No, because you need trust to go into a place that is not yours. For example, I have my life, but when I'm coming into your life, I have to trust. If I don't trust you, then I can't be around you.
Don't you think that knowledge, understanding, and wisdom is much more important than trust when you're getting into marriage or relationship?
So let's analyze that.
Okay.
Okay, so I have all the knowledge about how to love you, Papa, and how to give you the best love or whatever. I'm wise in my thinking. I know how to solve problems. I know how to manage finances.
Okay.
But I don't trust you. All those things they're like invalid because I don't trust you. I wouldn't give you my money. I wouldn't give you access to our account. I don't trust you. Even though you're a math whiz, you can solve all our financial problems, but I don't trust you. So where does that leave wisdom and knowledge? It's void because trust is not there. I don't trust you. So I can't, even if you have all the knowledge in the world, right? And this happens a lot in marriages, by the way. This man could be really knowledgeable about the proper way to love his wife, right? But because she doesn't trust him, she doesn't listen to him. So that knowledge is invalid.
No, when you talk about knowledge, you can't go with knowledge alone. I tell people you have to have knowledge and you have to have understanding, which is comprehension of the knowledge you have. Then so you can be able to apply it, which is wisdom, apply your knowledge. Now, what this means is you are close to God, right? Now, what this means is you know who you are. You know who you are, and you are living right. You are disciplined. You know your value. You're a man of value and principles, right? Now, and definitely you're gonna attract that same kind of person you are into your life. Because definitely that's what I believe about about law of attraction is attracting who you are. So that's why I don't have fear on people who get married to somebody who cheats and to people who lie and people who are unfaithful, because something else distracted you right from the beginning. That's why you didn't even see that coming. You didn't pay attention. Maybe you're interested in money or material things or other things that are not important. Or probably maybe you are not a man of principle or a woman of principle and a woman of value or a woman of morality, So you attracted that kind of human being into your life. Now, when you attract a good man, because you're a good woman, now both of you start living together.
Okay.
He has not done anything funny. He has never lied to you. He is faithful to you. But can't you just live with him without trusting, without saying, okay, because trust to me is expectation.
Well, if you look at it that way, then you're disconnecting the essence of what trust is. Because trust is not a thing that you say, oh, I'm going to trust you or not trust you.
Yeah.
It's something that is unspoken. It's supposed to be there without even discussing it. Because I'm going by what you're saying and showing me. The trust is automatic. It's not like I have a meter of, okay, now I trust you 10%. Or now I trust you 20%. No, It's automatic because you are coming into my space and you are presenting yourself as something or someone. Now, what you're showing me is what I'm going to believe. Mind you, remember the definition of trust.
Yeah.
It is the belief in something or someone.
Yeah.
So it's not like trust is a thing of its own.
Okay.
No, it is connected to everything that is that person to you. That is what trust is. So if you look at trust as expectations, then you're disconnecting what trust really is, because it's you believing something. I believe your tie is red.
The expectation is you believe in something too.
No, it's not expectation. I believe your tie is red.
Okay.
Now, if I ask you, Chidi, what color is your tie? You say blue. Now I can't trust you.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you see the colors, or I'll think you're colorblind. So I can't trust your sense of color. If I ask you what's the weather like, you tell me, oh, it's blue outside when it's gray. I can't trust what you tell me because I can see that you don't know colors very well.
Okay.
So it's not a thing that is expected. I expect you to see the color that's on your tie because it is normal to use your eyes to see. So the expectation is unspoken. I expect you to say, hey, Chidi, what color is your tie? You tell me red, because that's what it is. It's not like I want you to go and do some research and come and tell me.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. Like it's right there in front of you. But if you say blue, now I'm a bit concerned. I'm a bit worried. Like, is he not able to see colors, or is he just such a liar that he cannot even distinguish when he's lying or not?
Yeah.
Now I'm a bit apprehensive to take your word for what it is.
Yeah.
So that's why trust is an unspoken belief that I'm having in you who's not me, because I don't live in your head. I don't live in your world that is in your space.
But why getting something that you know, or why looking for something that you know could be broken? Could be broken. So there are chances that it could be broken.
There's a chance, high possibility that I go out and don't come back home. Does that mean I'm never going to go out? There's a high possibility that I drive my car and I get in an accident because people are reckless on the road. Does that mean I'm never going to drive again? You can't live like that, because you believe what someone shows you is what it is, right? Remember that you're going by what someone is putting in a conscious effort
Yeah.
to show you.
Yeah,
It's not like I meet you, right?
Yeah.
You're sitting across the room and I'm just saying, okay, I think he's a nice guy. I think he's faithful. I think he's kind. No, you're actually putting in a conscious effort to show me who you are.
Exactly.
And what you're showing me
Yeah.
consciously
Yeah.
is what I'm believing.
Exactly.
Now, when you show me something, but it's not really who you are, that's when trust is tainted. Because you took the time and the effort to show me this personality of yours. So you say, why get into a relationship if you know that trust could be an issue? Well, because I'm going by what you showed me. If you sit there and never talk to me and never tell me anything about you, and I have to figure it out by myself, listen, if I'm mistaken,
Okay.
if I do a misstep, then the trust is broken from me to me. It's nothing you told me. It's nothing you said. Remember that when you're dealing with someone, they're coming into your life to be something for you, not for themselves,
Yeah.
for you. And you're also trying to be something for them. Now, if you say, yes, babe, I'll take out the trash, something so simple, and then you don't, trash comes and the trash day comes and goes. Now I'm like, babe, you should take out the trash like you said.
Then you're angry, right?
I'm not necessarily angry. I'm confused.
Yeah.
Like I need to understand what's going on.
Because you expect him to do it.
I didn't just expect. I believed that you were going to do it.
Because
like
he always
said.
do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you say you're going to do it, then no. Okay, so if I just assume that babe's gonna take out the trash because he always does it, and you don't, that's an expectation. But if I ask you, babe, are you gonna take out the trash? Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna do it before I go to bed. And then you don't. That's not an expectation. That is me believing that you're going to do what you said and you don't.
Okay.
Now the belief is the issue. I have a problem that I believed you and you didn't accommodate that belief.
So you don't think that someone can go into a relationship with his mind being neutral, that I am in a relationship with somebody that can fuck up at any time, someone who can, kind of do something wrong at any time, and because of that, I have to zero my mind. I have to have this mindset and understanding that I'm dealing with a human being. So if she messes up, it doesn't really bother me. I love her. Listen, because love is bigger than trust.
I doubt that.
No,
okay.
Love is bigger than trust. That's why God loves us, but He doesn't trust us. Because love is bigger than trust. I'm talking about true love. I'm not talking about the emotional kind of love or the feelings kind of love. I'm talking about the real
unconditional
love, which is the real love. Because now, when trust is broken, the only thing that can mend the trust is love.
We're gonna have to dive into that one.
No, I'm talking about true love. People have this. I'm confused. Because people talk about love. I love you, I love you, I love you, and at the end of the day, I'm thinking, what kind of love is that? Because when your partner does something wrong, love should be there to cover it up.
I'm not going to disagree with that, but I want you to look at it from the other perspective, because I think you look at it from the perspective of the person who is the offender, so to speak, right? So look at it like this. I love you. I genuinely love you. I would do anything for you.
God's kind of love?
Yes.
Okay.
But remember that you are also telling me that you love me.
Yeah.
Because if you don't tell me that, I wouldn't be here. Why would I be loving you if you don't tell me you love me too? Right? So now I know how I love you. I know how I show up for you. It's unconditional. But I believe that you're also unconditionally loving me.
Yeah.
So now when you show me that your love is not unconditional, your love is shaky, is easily tempted, do you think in that space, wait a minute.
Okay.
Do you think in that space where I believe that you loved me like I loved you because you said it the way I said it?
If the love is unconditional, we should get rid of trust.
But this is the thing. So are you trying to tell me you hurt me, I should stay because my love for you is unconditional?
No, I hurt you and I am sorry that I hurt you, and I am being accountable for my actions. And if you love yourself unconditionally, to love me unconditionally, you should, love me back and forgive me.
So how do I know that you're truly, genuinely sorry unless by actions of trust?
Yeah, but before actions of trust, you're talking about, I have to communicate to you. I have to talk to you how sorry I am.
Okay.
Then you will see how I live, right? I will start doing right. I'll start, doing the right thing and, start respecting myself. Yeah. So what I'm saying is this. I'm not saying go out there and, get married to somebody who is a bum.
Of course not.
I'm not saying get married to somebody or be in a relationship with a deadbeat. That's not what I'm saying.
Not.
Yeah. What I'm saying is you are in a relationship
Okay.
or you get married to somebody who is really, really a good man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Now, you have to love yourself to be able to love other people.
Explain that to me, because I love myself wonderfully and then I try to love someone who does not love themselves well enough to love me back. Remember, this thing called relationship and love is two ways, Chidi.
Yeah.
It's not one way.
Yeah.
It's not one person has to love more or one person has to carry the burden of accountability or love, unconditional love. Unconditional love is both ways.
Yeah.
So remember, it's easier to say, well, love me unconditionally. So if I ask you,
I cannot say
No,
I cannot say that.
No, but you're saying that is what the love should be.
No,
the love should be unconditional,
exactly.
Right? So then tell me, let's just say, for example, my husband cheats on me.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, I'm glad you told me what you did because I also cheated on you.
Okay.
Now you're vexed.
Yeah.
Now you want to point fingers.
Yeah.
Now you're like, oh, you cheated on me. How dare you? I'm sorry. Did you forget you cheated on me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But who has the burden of unconditional loving? Because I'm not saying I did. I'm just saying. You tell me, you come and you confess. Oh, I catch you. Don't even confess. I catch you cheating.
Yeah.
And now you're all of a sudden so sorry. I promise I'm so sorry. It hurts me to hurt you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Remember that, first of all, I can't take your word for it because you just broke the trust that you've been pretending to have.
Okay.
You've been telling me you love me, you love me. This love carries responsibilities of how you treat me, right?
That's why I tell people, don't love me. Love yourself. Because if you love yourself better, then you can love me. But
Yeah.
people think,
But loving me means not to tolerate anything that hurts me. That's what loving me. So I have to love you more than I love myself. Because if I love myself more than I love you, and you cheat on me, I'm out of the door immediately because I do not tolerate such foolishness. I do not tolerate such disrespect. So in a relationship, I'm coming in to love you. But I already love, wait, listen to this.
Okay.
I already love myself, meaning
Okay.
I'm content
Yeah.
with who I am and where I am.
Yeah.
I'm self-sufficient.
You know who you are.
I'm self-sufficient. I'm sustainable. I don't need you for anything but just your heart.
okay,
And then you betray that. If I love you more than I love myself, I can forgive you. But if I love myself more than I love you, I'm not forgiving you. Well, I can forgive you, but I'm separating myself from you with a quickness because you have shown me I don't hold that important value enough. Not saying it's not there at all. Enough for you to not really disrespect the sacred, intimate bond that
then
we have.
how should you love? How should we love? Should we love someone more than we love ourselves, or should we love someone like we love ourselves?
I would say in the aspect of answering that question, love someone like you love yourself.
Or should we love someone like Christ loved us?
Well, absolutely. We are urged to love like God's love.
Exactly.
But it goes two ways. It
Yeah.
goes both ways. It's not a one
Exactly.
way.
It's
so
not one
if
way.
you're not loving me like God loves me,
Yeah.
why are you expecting me to love you like God loves you?
Yeah. So
You've messed that up.
yeah.
So that this is why if anyone should cheat or should betray trust,
Lie to you.
right? Lie, cheat, keep secrets, or lie.
If somebody
still
lied
lies.
to if somebody lied to you, can you walk out of marriage?
It depends on the lie. I don't think that lie should constitute divorce. Like I said, for me, I'll speak for myself personally. The only reason that I would ever get divorced is adultery, infidelity. That to me is a no-no. Like, unless, like I said, is brought to my attention that I
Why is it a no-no to
neglect,
you?
because you have tainted these sacred space that we have with another energy, with another spirit, and it's no longer me and you. It's not me, you, and that person. Like, we're not doing that.
So it means
This is you and me. If you go and add a B, I mean, this is A and B, right? If you add a C, it's no longer A and B. So at this point, you have injected something else that is not good for me.
so. What is that? Why God said on that ground you should get a divorce?
Yes, because listen, intimacy is sacred. It is a bonding of spirits. That means
No, intimacy or sex.
intimacy. What sex is? Sexual intercourse, because
Sexual intercourse
it's
is
intimacy.
Yeah, it's
So,
intimacy.
but that's sex. Let's for the purpose of clarity,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Let's say sex, right?
Exactly.
Sexual intercourse, because intimacy could be kissing and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But still, you do build a bond, but not as strong as after intercourse.
Yeah.
So that is intertwining spirits, souls.
Yeah.
It's not a little thing. It's not a joke. It's not something that you just do for exercise or fun, which is how the world sees it. It's something to do to release, to digress or whatever it is, right? But it's way more sacred than that. You're connecting yourself to someone else's energy, and that energy has an effect on the trajectory of where you go in life.
I am on the same energy and I'm on the same spot with you when you talk about
Yeah.
adultery. Should be the only ground where people divorce.
But do you know why, though? Do you know why?
I think the reason is this. I think because sexual intercourse is a covenant.
Yes. But do you
And
know why it's a covenant?
it's a covenant because to God, that's the only way for procreation. That's the only way for you to give life to God. For you to have kids.
Okay.
Now is a very strong, because now let me tell you something about marriage. Marriage is not a creation of the society.
Absolutely not.
Marriage is not a creation of the religion.
Absolutely not.
Marriage is an institution created directly, is a direct arrangement from God.
Yes.
Now, after God created Adam, now the next thing was he created marriage.
But
Listen.
Adam and Eve never got married. They never went to court or went to church.
No. Listen, God took part of Adam's rib, and created a woman.
Okay.
And when Adam woke up from his sleep,
Okay.
he said, "Wow, this is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh." And for this cause, a man should leave his father and his mother and
Join together with his wife.
exactly. So that is marriage.
I know. I'm just
Exactly. So marriage is
It's orchestrated by God Himself.
that
Our
is the
Creator.
oldest. Yeah,
God
that is the oldest institution. And the reason God created woman, this is very deep right now. Listen, Adam was not in need of someone to trust.
No.
Adam was not in need of someone to, expect something from. Adam was perfect
Yes.
when God created marriage.
Facts.
Yeah. So Adam was perfect. Adam was not lacking anything.
Absolutely.
Adam had everything.
Yes.
Adam was perfect. Now, that's why I don't like it when people go.
No, continue that line.
Yeah,
because
yes.
trust was broken.
No,
Go
hold
ahead.
on. So now God created Eve. And
For what reason? You were going to tell us
helpmates.
Helpmate.
Helpmates.
Well,
Not trustmates.
no,
Helpmates.
but it was deeper than that.
Hold on. Helpmates. That was
Yeah.
what the Bible said.
Yeah.
Right? Now, listen. Now what happens is this. The point I'm trying to make is that Adam was perfect.
Okay.
Adam was not in need of anything
Okay.
when God created Eve.
Just help.
Just help me, right? Now, now they started living together and every other thing happened. The fall of man and
But every other thing that happened was a betrayal of trust.
from who?
Okay. Eve gave Adam hey, eat this apple with me.
Yeah,
Nothing's going to happen. We're just going to be like God. We're going to have the knowledge of good and bad.
yeah,
And because Adam trusted, like I said, trust is an unspoken belief. Wait, listen to this. Trust is an unspoken belief because Adam knew that Eve was for him, his best interest. Trust is the belief that this person is for your best interest.
The trust was broken between man and God, and not between Adam and Eve.
No, of course. But God gave Adam the responsibility,
Yes.
the instructions.
Did God give Eve the instruction?
No, he gave it to Adam.
Exactly.
But that's the thing. So Adam broke God's trust by trusting Eve.
Adam never trusted Eve.
But he had to have before, because he believed. Remember what the definition of trust is?
Yeah.
The belief in something or someone. Adam believed that Eve was for his best interest. Eve would never do anything that's going to hurt him. Eve would never do anything that's going to bring him harm.
Mm-hmm.
So when she said eat the apple, he didn't fathom she could be trying to hurt me. She could be trying to bring me harm because one, she was put there for his best interest.
But the disobedience is between Adam and God.
Yes, but that's why I said he disobeyed because he trusted Eve was for his best interest. God didn't give Eve the instructions, she gave it to Adam.
Yeah.
And now, because God gave him Eve, he believed Eve was for everything good. Why do you think the devil went to Eve and not to Adam?
What do you think?
Because it was easier for Adam to, the devil to fool Eve.
Yeah.
Because she is, okay, I want to know more. That's why we women, we want to help you, but before we help you, we want to know what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
So when he came to her with the, hey, eat this, you're going to know more. You're going to have the knowledge of good and bad. You're going to be like God. She's like, I want that. I want that knowledge of good and bad. I want to be, very wise and smart, almost like God, or just like God.
Okay.
So that is why it was easy for him to fool Eve. If he would have gotten to Adam, Adam like, no, but God has already told me not to eat from the fruit, so I'm not going to do it.
But sometimes, we do something not because we trusted somebody. We know that what we're about to do is sinful. We know that what we're about to do is not the right thing, but we still go ahead and do it. So Adam's case was, Adam perfectly knew, because God gave him the instruction. God gave him the instruction, and God never gave Eve the instruction, right? So now, Adam knew that what he was about to do was wrong, was disobedient.
I don't think he knew in the moment when he was doing it, because he would have never done it. I don't think that Adam would have picked Eve over God. No, think about it. I don't think that Adam would have picked Eve over God. Remember that it's because of the person. For example, I'm your wife.
Yeah.
You're going to trust me.
Okay.
If I say, babe, let's get into this business. It's 2 million and we have 2 million in the bank. Are you sure? Babe, trust me. I've done my research. I've done everything. It's going to bring us 4 million.
And I know the business is wrong business.
No, but you don't know that it's a wrong business, because in the moment...
Because somebody has already told me that it's a wrong business.
But if that's the case, if that's the case, then of course you're going to ask questions, you're going to be apprehensive. If I show you numbers, if I show you other people's results, you're going to say, well, we really can use this 4 million. This is because you trust me. Okay, let's put that aside. Parents, right?
Yeah.
When you're raising your children, automatically your children trust you. Because why? You're for their best interest. You're there for their betterment. So they trust you. If you say, go do this, they're not going to question it too much.
But you don't do everything for them.
But that's the thing. But you're a child. Remember that your parents are there for your best interest. And I think this is what we really need to understand is